All right.
Okay. Good afternoon, Charlottesville. It's Wednesday afternoon, and this is the midweek update for
Midweek
First United
update.
Methodist Church. I'm Reverend Gary Heaton. With me, Reverend Phil Woodson. Wave to everybody, Phil.
And with me,
Oh,
the littlest Jack Riley Woodson.
the boss is here.
That's right. Well, you know, these season finales always have these surprise guest stars.
That's right.
Mine also involves barbecue tongs. So stay tuned to see what happens next.
Oh my gosh. Well, so we have decided that as the spring approaches, where the good news that we're going to be regathering in the church, that this afternoon is the last midweek update. I think there's been 53 or 54 of these.
So I looked it up. We started doing these on March 25th of 2020.
Okay.
A couple weeks around Christmas or otherwise, but this is the 52nd midweek update.
And we started doing this because we thought it was the best way we could think of to have regular contact with the congregation and to let people know what's going on. If people wanted to contact us or chat and get questions answered, or just know that we're moving along with things and let people know what's going on with the church. So I'll give a brief synopsis of what I think has happened in COVID. Here we go.
All right, a brief synopsis.
A brief synopsis. We bought a big giant Apple computer that we call the Starship Enterprise that does all the whiz-bang things to create a highly polished, produced, pre-recorded worship service that has been the envy of the United Methodist Connection across the country. We went into the fall and tried a curbside communion for a month or so until the infection rate got to the point that we had to cancel just prior to what we were planning to be a pretty cool Christmas Eve service outside with candlelight and all that, but that didn't happen. It was a big disappointment. We hired a new youth director. We've hired a new finance coordinator, and we are soon to be hiring a new church administrator. Should be happening in the next couple of weeks. We went to live Zoom, YouTube worship services, which I think are pretty cool. Have some interesting things we've learned about breakout rooms and chatting. And let's see what's happening right now. Oh, and Phil and I have been projected to serve new appointments in July. Where are you going, Phil?
I'm going to Springfield United Methodist Church. Where are you going, Gary?
I'm going to Kernstown United Methodist Church.
Right. So we've got that on our plates, and our goals are to get everybody back to in-person worshiping. We've been talking with the Reverend Alex Joyner, not daily, but checking in regularly enough to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We got a great team of laity who have been volunteering to help with all the technology. And just as Gary's talked about where we've been and where we think we're going, I just want to invite everyone to check out that weekly email. There are all kinds of opportunities on ways to re-engage in the life of the church. The handbell choir started up. All kinds of volunteers are needed for in-person worship beginning May 23rd. All kinds of small groups have still been going on and are still going on. Youth group, all kinds of ways that you can re-engage in the life, work, and ministry that the church is trying to accomplish and be involved in on a regular basis.
And let me say this, it's kind of neat. Alex Joyner is currently a district superintendent. And so he's had a little bit of time to start helping out with things. He's been involved in the hiring process and the interviews. You're going to be hearing from him in the worship services. He's going to be giving some teasers about his sermons in the early summer. And so we're kind of improvising and being creative about new ways to do transition. I'd like to say a word or two about in-person worship. we've been guided by safety regulations from the annual conference throughout the year. So a lot of decisions about whether we're in or whether we're outside of the church have not been at the local level, but more at the conference level. Just today, we received more instructions from the conference about how to safely worship inside. And we are so excited because we're going to be able to do some things at this first worship service, May 23rd, Pentecost Sunday, that are going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be a little bit different than we've done before, but they're going to be familiar enough. Hi, yes. And so we're going to have worship elements for children and youth and adults. There's going to be music. There's going to be indoor and outdoor aspects to this worship service. So we're planning an exciting Sunday. I really want to encourage the congregation to come feeling really, really good about our ability to have a safe indoor outdoor event. If you have not seen people in worship on Zoom or online, why don't you congregations start reconnecting with each other? Say, hey, I haven't seen you in worship. We're starting back on the 23rd. We'd love to see you there. It'd be so good to gather together. So the work of evangelism and sharing, we promise to put our very best efforts into making this worship service on Pentecost a Holy Spirit-filled time.
And as part of that regathering and our encouragement and desire to do so, I also want to encourage everyone to get vaccinated. It is open and available to everyone who's 16 years old and older. Oh, I had this fun question. Somebody, I don't know I got some phone call, some political survey asking me if I was going to vote. And instead of asking me how old I was, he said, and how young are you? So everyone who's 120 years old and younger
is now available to be vaccinated.
So those who are young at heart and otherwise, please, 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 please make all the available things. Go to the Virginia .gov or vdh.gov. Google it to
make it happen. Yeah. And I guess the last thing that we want to share in this final midweek update is kind of reiterating the truth that when we come back to church after the pandemic, it's not going to be exactly like it was. It is going to be something different. I know at First Church, it's going to be, one church, one pastor, one worship service to start. But where you go from there, the Holy Spirit will lead you, and there will be things to learn, and there will be blessings. So it's kind of an exciting time to reset and re-envision what the church is and where it's going. And we think Alex Joyner is a gifted pastor for such a time as this.
So much like the Seinfeld finale, I told Gary we'll just end up with both of us in jail and fade to black for our last midweek update. But
or you all can pressure your new pastor to have a midweek update, and we can Zoom bomb it.
Right? Yeah.
Wouldn't that be?
That would be great. Yeah, as long as they don't change the passwords to stuff, I can come back on.
Right, exactly. That's got all kind of possibilities, doesn't it?
That's right.
So as you all continue to be online in church, I'm sure you will be. Phil and I will find ways to insert ourselves electronically. So this kind of concludes this year-long midweek update. The pandemic I feel like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and looking forward to this summer. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you in church on May 23rd.
That's right. Until then, stay safe.
Stay connected.